Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel, baby. Welcome to Center Pages. I had like a little different idea for this video, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that because I need to get some other things done. So I'm just gonna wait and do like a little. I was gonna have it like we could, I was gonna have like a little drink and, just chill like how we used to do when I first started the channel with a little wine. But now it's getting too late and I have things to do. So I'm gonna postpone that. But as of right now, I've just got some coffee and a regular update. Regular reading update. So get your snacks, get your coffee, get whatever it is that you want to enjoy while we're together. Let's get this party started, honey. I've got 6 books that we can talk about. It's going to be fun. Mainly thrillers. And yeah, they were so much fun. I had a ball reading Dead of Winter and Incidents Around the House. Oh my goodness. So let's start with that one. Let's start with Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. I gave 5 stars. And the description is, when Krista joins a tour group heading deep into the snowy expanses of the Rocky Mountains, she's hopeful this will be her chance to put the ghost of her past to rest. But when a bitterly cold snowstorm sweeps the region, the small group is forced to take shelter in an abandoned hunting cabin. Despite the uncomfortable claustrophobic quarters and rapidly dropping temperature, Krista believes they'll be safe as they wait out the storm. She couldn't be more wrong. Deep in the night, her tour guide goes missing, only to be discovered the following morning. His severed head impaled on a tree outside the cabin. Terrified and completely isolated by the storm, Krista finds herself trapped with 8 total strangers. One of them kills for sport, and they're far from finished. As the storm grows more dangerous and the number of survivors dwindles one by one, Krista must decide who she can trust before this frozen mountain becomes her tomb. And this was my first read. Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. That's been really good. So it has, I forget the main character's name in Dead of Winter, but she and her fiance, or her at the time boyfriend, Kiernan, they were on a bus headed to a resort, like a little ski resort. But the bus had to make a stop, and while it was stopped, the two of them decided to go and walk the grounds. They got separated from the rest of the bus group. So long story short, they end up getting caught in a storm and lost from the bus group, and the bus group had to come and seek them out and find them. Well, they were able to find the girl, but they weren't able to find her boyfriend Kiernan. So when she comes to, she's back with the group, but they aren't able to find Kiernan, and a lot of things begin to happen to the other members of the group. And it's real good though. It's a snowstorm. It's like them being locked, they find a little cabin that they kind of hold up in for a few hours. But goodness, as they're in this cabin, all of the worst things are kind of happening to these people, and it's kind of crazy. It's been one thing after the other. So like I said, I'm halfway through that. I want to finish that up too. I got maybe 4 or 5 more hours of Dead of Winter. It just happened to be my turn with it on Libby. And then I realized that it's on YouTube. So I'm going to finish listening to that probably before the end of the weekend. At least before I have to go back to work on Monday, I would like to get through the rest of that Dead of Winter. It was good. Can't wait to see how it ends and wraps up. But yeah, I think, however, for right now, I'm gonna try to get back to my book, The Librarian and the Gangster, because that's been pretty riveting. I can't wait to talk about that, and I will keep you updated. My challenge, I've done really good. Um, I got I've got about 2 hours left of Dead of Winter. That book was so good. I enjoyed it so much. I what I gotta stop doing though is I have to be patient with my books. I gotta stop reading ahead. Like even when I have physical books, I have to stop myself from, and most of the time I don't stop myself from looking ahead, reading like the last chapter just to see what happens, because I don't want to be patient and just listen or read for the whole book. And I be wanting to know what happened. I just or how or all of it. I be on googling stuff and on Reddit. Oh my goodness, terrible. I have to stop doing that. But Dead of Winter is so good. I'm really, really enjoying it. I just can't wait to get through these last 2 hours and find out the wrap up. I want to. I can't. I don't want to give the story away. I can't say too much because I don't want to give it away. But I've been suspicious of who I think the killer is for the whole book. I've been side eyeing this character the whole book, and it's good. Darcy wrote her ass off. Darcy Coates did a really good job on this one. I don't even know what to say besides I can't wait to get to the end, and I'm pretty sure that I was right about it. I just can't. I'm just excited about seeing the whole unraveling of it and how it all comes out and comes to light. That's what's most exciting to me. Then I also only have like 2 hours left of Animal. So I'm right on schedule. I'm right on track with finishing up these couple of books today. And then I might spend the last couple hours writing reviews, but this was fun. And of this series of books, Dead of Winter was definitely I don't know, Incidents Around the House was also really good too. I was going to say that Dead of Winter was my favorite out of this series, but Incidents Around the House was pretty chef's kiss too. Well, anyway, I just want to get on and say that real quick. I will be back later with the rest of my thoughts, my finishing up of it, and all of that. See you later. By Darcy Coates. I said this book was so good, Dead of Winter, and I'm reading it Dead of Summer, and I have no regrets. It was still atmospheric in a mood. I would have loved to have read this on like a summer camping trip, even though it's set in a cabin. Something about it was also giving tent. I wanted to be in a tent listening to this. I love a good grudge, honey, with a good healthy dose of well planned out revenge. I only have a teaspoon of edges to begin with, and I don't need the rest of them snatched the way that book snatched them. It was so good. 5 stars. Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. Next, I have Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. I gave it 5 stars. And the description goes, hold on. To 8-year-old Bella, her family is her world. There's Mommy, Daddo, and Grandma Ruth. But there's also Other Mommy, a malevolent entity who asks her every day, "Can I go inside your heart?" When horrifying incidents around the house signal that Other Mommy is growing tired of asking Bella the same question over and over, Bella understands that unless she says yes, Soon her family must pay. Other mommy is getting restless, stronger, bolder. Only the bonds of family can keep Bella safe, but other incidents show cracks in their families, in her parents' marriage. The safety Bella relies on is on the brink of unraveling, but other mommy needs an answer. Incidents Around the House is a chilling, wholly unique tale of true horror told by the child Bella, a story about a family as haunted as their home. I said Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. He's actually the same person who wrote Bird Box. And that became really popular and blew up and became a movie and all that. Bird Box. I downloaded that. So far, I'm not liking it as much as Incidents Around the House. It's not as gripping. I will let you know if I decide to stick with that. But Incidents Around the House, I'm liking. So it's from the perspective of this little girl. And her name is Bella, and she's 8 years old. And she lives with her dad and her mother, and she loves them very much. But she's got a problem because she has this other mother that comes out of her closet and asks her periodically if she can come into her body or if she can come into her heart or something like that. She asks her. And every single time other mother asks little Bella this question, Bella's like, hell no. No, you cannot. And, you know, honestly, I thought that we were friends, and now I'm not so sure. So now little Bella is kind of going through it with this other mother lady. And I'm liking it because what I'm enjoying is that usually I don't like a book told from like the perspective of a kid, because like, okay, I read Baby Teeth a while ago and it was okay, but it wasn't my favorite because like she was, in my opinion, super smart, doing stuff that I didn't feel as though a 9-year-old little girl would be doing. But this little girl, Bella, she's very real and she's very normal, and she's just an 8-year-old kid, like I said, who loves her parents, and she is just dealing with this fucking entity in her closet at night. And it's so cute because it just reminds you of being little and vulnerable, and she's quite brave and she's cute and she's sweet and this, that, and the other, but all that damn when it's a damn lady coming out your closet at nighttime. And so now she's in the part of the story where she's like trying to convince her parents that this is really happening, and her mother is believing her a little bit more than her father is. But it's really good. Like I said, I'm really liking the fact that she's not super smart. She's not you know, doing things that an 8-year-old little girl wouldn't be doing. She's not talking like how an 8-year-old wouldn't talk. It's really cute and I'm enjoying it. So I'm about a little over 2 hours into that book. I'm enjoying that. I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to stick with probably for the majority of the 12-hour reading plan. It's still pretty early in the day. I don't know what I'm going to have. I don't know what I'm going to do for lunch and dinner and all that kind of stuff. I will keep you updated with all that. I'll probably insert some little clips of lunch and dinner. We've got, oh, you know what? We've got a little bit of that spaghetti left over. So that's what we'll probably have for lunch, is the rest of that spaghetti of last night's dinner. And then I'll figure out what else for dinner tonight. Maybe pork chops. Maybe I'll do pork chops. All right. See, it's never the house that's haunted. It's always something up with the people in it. I have yet to read one of these books where it really is just legit something paranormal going on. Well, I can't say that. But what I will say is that usually the occupants of the house have their own stuff with them. Ooh, it's getting ready to start raining. I gotta hurry up.
I just wanted to say that, yeah, I've got an hour left of the book to go, and it's perfect. The revelation for that little girl is so heartbreaking. And the worst ever. For the whole book, she calls her father Dado, and it is kind of annoying. But when as you're reading the book or listening to it, you hear how much she really loves her dad. It's kind of, I like that the writer decided to name him something different than what everybody else usually calls their dad. Kind of distinguishes, makes their little relationship stand out that much more that she called him dad over the whole daggone book. But the revelation, the twist was my chef's kiss. It was good. Um, so yeah, I am so ready for the last hour because my jaw was on the floor.
This lady Ursula is just the worst kind of the worst kind of incorrigible person, honey. She's the worst. The mother in this story. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to do a little think piece on her. Type a little something up on her because she is just so selfish. Wonderful. What made this book so good for me was rooting for Bella. It was giving Coraline in the best way with other mommy and her in the closet creepy shenanigans. Again, this book just emphasizes how I think that spiritual matters work. And I'm not talking about any entities or ghosts walking around the house, but just the negative air that secrets hold, family secrets, and not living honestly and living right. It seeps into the walls and gets deep into the carpets and the bone and marrow of a house. And it can be felt. Ursula was the worst and just needs to go and F off somewhere and be single. I just bet Bella was talking to a daggone mother in the closet, calling her other mommy and whatnot, with a mother as selfish as Ursula was. She was an incorrigible hoe. And I understood that, baby. Making friends with other mommy. Goodness gracious. I want to say that Russ was too good for her, but honestly, how you get them is how you lose them. So the hell with him, too. And I love a good bleak book with a good bleak ending. It was so good. Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman. 5 stars. Really good. Next, I have Nothing Tastes as Good by Luc Dumas. I gave it 4 stars. The description goes, retail worker Emmett Truesdale has never fit the Southern California mold of 6-pack suntanned masculinity. Over 300 pounds, he carries the weight of his childhood trauma and the millennial ennui around his waist and in his soul. After trying every diet under the sun, he remains stuck in his dead-end job, in love, and in his body. Desperate for help, he enrolls in a clinical trial for a new weight loss product called Obexity. The treatment is as horrifying as the results are miraculous, and as Emmett sheds pounds at superhuman speed, every part of his life improves overnight. Unfortunately, Obexity comes with some killer side effects, including lost stretches of time and overwhelming cravings. Worse, people who are cruel to him have started disappearing, and when the police warn of a cannibalistic killer on the loose, he fears that Obexity is turning him into a monster. But how can he give it up now that people are finally starting to treat him like he's human? Nerve-wracking, sinister, and at times surreal, Nothing Tastes as Good is an unputdownable thriller that combines the substance with the best of Stephen King and keeps you guessing into the final page. Oh, did you? I put comment down below if you watched The Substance. That was a good movie. it was very interesting, but it was good. Okay, so I said 4 stars. Again, I said this was rather interesting. Emmett is fluffy, honey, extra fluffy, and he has struggled with his weight his whole life. His mother enabled him a lot with the way that she loved him with food and cooking, and honestly, same. My mother loved with food too, and cooking, and so do I. Eat it up. I would rather my children eat up and have a nice, healthy appetite for a variety of foods than somewhere starving themselves because they think they're fat when they're not. Her mistake was marrying the worst kind of men. The men that Emmett's mother married were just disgusting, and they picked on him and made his life harder than it really needed to be. So Emmett grows up with the worst self-esteem and really wanting to be skinty, honey. He wants to be a skinny bitch. So he signs up to be a part of this clinical study, for a clinical trial for this new weight loss product called Obexity, and it sounds sketchy as hell. I would never want to be the first to try anything, get alone something as serious as a weight loss supplement. Now he is losing weight, but with it come the side effects that just aren't good. I feel like he should have waited a while and did a little more research on it. But when you're fat and fast and all you can think about is unbigging your back, then consequences and side effects be damned. I wish this wasn't my first read of real life fat fiction. It kind of felt, I kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, which was good. It was a good story, but I would have liked to see some fat and happy representation. More like Emmett's homegirl, Lizette. She was fabulous, honey. Loved her, their friendship too. She was fat and still self-loving. I said, some of my big girlfriends are the most confident, beautiful, and happy people I know. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that type of representation for Emmett himself. So next I have Animal by Kwon. I gave it 3 stars. And the description goes, 1 bullet changed everything. 3 years after narrowly escaping a one-way trip to the gas chamber, the fugitive known only as Animal finds himself drawn back to the scene of the crime, Harlem, New York. Throughout his entire time in exile, the only thing that kept Animal going was the thought that he would one day be reunited with his soulmate, Gucci. But 1 bullet changed everything. When his enemies tried to murder Gucci, they crossed the line, so he vows to cross them all. While Gucci teeters between life and death, Animal sets out on a bloody mission fueled by love and orchestrated by bullets. There would be no more innocence. Alliances are formed and secrets uncovered while Animal wages his personal war on the streets of Harlem, with the end results revealing one great truth. He is only a small piece in a much greater puzzle. I gave it 3 stars. I said, too many characters, and I didn't really understand why what was happening. It was just too much. But it was still okay because it was fast-paced. I don't think that I'm going to continue with this series. This was an immersive read for me. I had it physically from the library. But I am going to get into the Hood Rat series and Passion for the Heist, which is my other library books. Yeah. I just don't think I'm going to stick with this series. This just wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really care for it all that much. Alrighty, next. Oh, yes. Unfaithful by Natalie Borelli. 5 stars. And the description goes, when I arrive unannounced at my husband's studio in need of a shoulder to cry on, after hearing that my best student, Alex, has died, I see a pair of wine glasses drying by the sink, and my deepest fear is confirmed. My husband is having an affair. Most women would fall to their knees in tears and throw him out of the house, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Instead, I go home and cook a healthy dinner for our children, walk the dog, and unload the dishwasher without complaint. I will make him see that I'm still the woman he married, attractive, successful, the glue that holds our perfect family together. I need this marriage to work to protect a terrible secret of my own, something that would destroy everything I've already sacrificed so much for. But when the police arrive at my door, asking questions about Alex's death that I can't answer, and threatening text messages start appearing on my phone, I know that someone close has been watching me very carefully. The truth is, there are 3 people in my marriage, but only one of them is deadly. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh my goodness. I said, well, this book sure was good. Anna is a math professor. She has a student who's like her protege named Alex. Alex asks Anna to help him finalize and publish a paper on an infamously complex and difficult to solve mathematic problem called the Penty-Stone conjecture. I don't even know what it is. Is it like an equation, a math formula, a theory? I don't know if it's a real thing or if it was just something made up for the sake of this story. Because everything I found on the internet about it was related to the book, and I couldn't find it outside of what it looked, I couldn't find it outside of the book, anything related to the book to see what it looked like. So I don't know if it's like a real thing. If anybody knows, let me know. It's called the Penty-Stone conjecture. Ciao. Anyway, legend has it, you aren't just solving it all willy-nilly on like a lazy Saturday afternoon. Apparently, it takes years of tinkering with this math equation to work it out. So with that being said, when someone does come forward with the solution to this problem, it isn't taken lightly. You get academic fame and $500,000 and all the bells and whistles. So Alex has been working on this math problem. And while he's like figuring it out and working on it, it's like taking a serious toll on him mentally, and he is not coping well, honey. And I've noticed that a lot of really like super smart, particularly like mathematically inclined people, that they tend to also have severe mental health issues or like physical health issues. I wonder if it's related. It's like the weight of that much intelligence is like too much on their physical body or something. I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder if there is a real link between super intelligence and not so good health. I don't know. I said, well, anyway, Alex is not doing well, and his personality changes for the worse, and he becomes more nasty and snappy, and I guess so. He isn't sleeping, he's not eating, and he's isolating himself and just having an all-around rough go at it. And it all culminates to him unaliving himself right in front of Anna. Ciao. So she's devastated, and understandably so. When she does go home and try to get a little sympathy and a shoulder to cry on from her husband, Louis, she instead finds out that his ass is cheating. That he is a philandering piece of crap. So she begins to investigate who this lady is that's got her husband in a tizzy, honey. Come to find out it's his co-worker, Isabel. Then, because of all of this adulterous scandal and whatnot going on in her life, Anna decides to be a special case herself and pass her student Alex's Penty-Stone conjecture work off as her own, in an effort to kind of get her husband to like fall back in love with her again and see how smart and beautiful and intelligent she is. Child. But she passes off the end product of the math equation. She recopied all of like Alex's math equations in her handwriting and came up with the solution and gave it to the Mathematical Foundation like she had did it all herself. She does get some initial fame and attention, but then the Math Foundation people are like, well, before we give you this $500,000 and we need to see, proof of your work. And she's like, what? And it was like, yeah, we need your scratch paper, honey. The notebooks that was used to work out this problem, we'd like to see them. Which that makes sense, right? I mean, I said, well, why would she think that she could just pass off the answer to the question with no process of how she got there. We learned that back in elementary school doing regular multiplication, division, adding, and subtracting. That the teacher was going to turn it away and give you a 0 if you didn't show your work. Because you probably copied the answers from somewhere, which is exactly what Anna had done. Between the cheating husband and she's trying to impress for whatever reason, the math foundation's foot being on her neck, and for those notes, her own mess with her boss Jeff and the IT guy Ryan, the ish really hits the fan, honey, in the best, most messiest way, and I loved it. So good. Read it so you can see how everything unfolds. And it was a chef's kiss ending. I loved it. It was so good. Unfaithful by Natalie Borelli. And for the last book, oh my goodness, I don't know which one was my favorite book of the series. Was it Every Value Break? Okay, so I have Every Value Break by Peter Swanson I'm getting ready to do. But I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to get sidetracked. I'll talk about that at the end. Which one or which top 2 or 3 were my favorite. Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. You got 5 stars from me. Oh, it was so good. Abigail Baskin never thought she'd fall in love with a millionaire. Then she met Bruce Lamb. But right before the wedding, Abigail has a drunken one-night stand on her bachelorette weekend. She puts the incident and the sexy guy, who wouldn't give her his real name, out of her mind, and now believes she wants to be with Bruce for the rest of her life. Then, the mysterious stranger suddenly appears, and Abigail's future life and happiness are turned upside down. He insists that their passionate night was the beginning of something special, and he's tracked her down to prove it. Does she tell Bruce and ruin her idyllic honeymoon and possibly their marriage? Or should she handle this psychopathic stalker on her own? To make the situation worse, strange things begin to happen. She sees a terrified woman in the night shadows, and no one at the resort seems to believe anything is amiss, including her perfect new husband. This was really good. 5 stars. I said, great book, fast-paced and juicy. Abigail is set to marry her fiancé Bruce, but at her bachelorette party, she messes up and sleeps with this stupid random guy named Scotty. But that's not his real name, because instead of them giving one another their real names, they decide to make up names for one another and go by those instead. Like, to it. How old are we? She names him Scott, and he names her Madeline, child, I guess, to keep it like anonymous. So anyway, it's just a one-time thing. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it does, blah, blah, blah. So she confesses it to her best friend Zoe and puts it like in the back of her mind and vows to move forward, never to do it again, and just be honest and faithful from now on. She plans and has this beautiful wedding in a barn in, like, I think it was upstate New York, with her family and friends and his family and friends. It's beautiful and everything is fun until she thinks she sees that nigga Scott out the corner of her eye. Child. So her husband, Bruce, whisked her away to a private island for her honeymoon. And he was like, you know, you can have whatever kind of wedding you like, big or small, it doesn't matter. Just let me take care of the honeymoon. And Abigail was like, bet. So they're honeymooning on this island, and you know, it's pretty like remote. They've had to fly there to get to it, and who else does Abigail see but Scott's ass on her honeymoon island? Oh no. So she has like this little clandestine meeting with him early one morning, and he said, I know what happened between us was special. And Abigail was like, listen, we are never going to be together, and especially not if you jeopardize my marriage. I effed up. We're just strangers, and I'm sorry if you thought otherwise. And this guy says, this cracked me up. He said, do you remember when we were in my room? It was the best sex. And there was that one moment, I know you remember it, when we were making love and our hands intertwined, and just for a moment, I felt it pass between the two of us. My soul went into yours and your soul went into mine. I know you felt it too. Child, I'd have punched him dead in his throat. She was like, I felt nothing. And scram. Well, scram, he does not. And ish hits the fan. It was such a good book. I don't want to give too much away. It was not at all what I was expecting. I didn't predict the twister, honey. The twister. I did not predict. I did not see it coming. It was good. It was just the kind of domestic psychological thriller that I live for. 5 stars. Loved it. So there's that. That's all of them. All 6 of them. How long have we been chit-chatting? Okay, for about 20 minutes. All right. Not too bad. I didn't think it was going to be too long, this video. Because a lot of my reviews weren't too long. Okay, so let's talk about the top 3 that I like the most. I think first would be Dead of Winter, number 1. Every Value Break, number 2, and then Incidents Around the House, number 3. Those are my top 3 ratings. Dead of Winter, Every Value Break, and Incidents Around the House, number 3. They were so good. I had a ball. This was a fun video. Yay. I will see you next time.